once you have a plan in your head and you're on meth, there is nothing to take somebody off the path. You know what I mean? You continue to convince yourself that you are smart and, sucks, but it's just the way it is, man. Then I called some friends that were on the run from years and years ago, and they live in Mexico now, like Mexicali and stuff like that. And I just call them and say, hey, do you mind if I drive up there? Because, yeah, I'd be happy to see you. And it's just like, boom, I just have a few grand. Do you know anybody? You can pick anybody here, man. They'll just go get it for you. I mean, tire shops and mechanic shops are just the best thing to do because nobody's looking at a bunch of cholos standing around meeting each other at a tire shop. It's nothing suspicious about that. You could pull stuff out of your trunk. You could take apart your car and take something out. Like, there's nothing suspicious about that. And also, I can go pull up my car in there and close the door, and there's nothing suspicious. $100. I had $2,000. It's just like, okay, I can get you a pound for that. And then it's my responsibility to get over the border. But, I asked them, I was just like, well, what do you think the best way for me to do that is? Like, oh, okay, no problem. We just got high. We're all wired up, looking for creative ways to stash a pound into my car. He just took my spare tire out, wrapped the meth for me in a bunch of saran wrap. In between the layers of saran wrap, he put ammonia in between it, kept wrapping and wrapping it, and then duct taped it inside the spare tire, because it's a tire shop, he could take off the tire. When I get to the United States, how do I open up this fucking tire? So, me and my friend were trying to really open up this tire, and it was hard, so I ended up driving around Wilmington looking at shady tire places. So, and I just looked at a tire guy, and he just kind of seemed, he had some tattoos and shit. And I was like, here's what I need. I need you to take my spare tire out, open it up, let me get something out of there and put it back. Can you do that? And he goes, yeah, no problem, $10. But then I ran out of money because I purchased it and I had this great plan and everything is going to work out. But the people that actually move it, you front them and they don't pay you back, and it's a whole bit. So then everything you did was bullshit. Or one time I even lost everything on accident. I don't even know where it went. So it's just, when you're not right in the head, these guys are sober, most of them, right? Yep. This is a real business to them. That's the difference. You're not dealing with some idiot on drugs. And they would ask me, they would go, hey, are you high? I go, yes. If I wasn't high, I would have nothing to do with any of this. I wouldn't even be here. I didn't go around networking too much. One person I met turned into 10, and everybody is trying to get it across. Everybody wants someone to get it across. I used to wear a suit and tie, and I was driving a nice car. The car's registered in my name. I supposedly have a business on the other side of the border. I would never really get stopped. They just open the trunk to see if there's any people in there.
So I just sucked at selling stuff because I was on meth, so I gave up. But these guys down in Mexicali, they kept calling. Hey, do you want to take a trip? There was just so much meth down there. It was everywhere. Everybody had it. They needed people to cross it, and I had a nice car in my name. They paid me $7,000 a trip, crossing their meth in my car. I did like 8 or 9 times. They'd pack it in my seat, and to where if you sat in it, it would start crunching and stuff like that. It just really made me paranoid. And it was the only way I actually made any money in the drug trade whatsoever. Everything else, I was just way too irresponsible to handle anything.
I was on drugs, and my car, I fell asleep driving my car, and I crashed it. I no longer had that car, so that was a big thing. So then I ended up getting, cars, but they weren't. The car was not in my name. It's just like my stability was gone, and not only that, I was very embarrassed. Now after this, it's just like the drugs take a toll on people, and it's very visual. You can see people getting real skinny, and suddenly you're just not as and I just didn't feel very trustworthy. So I stopped going. Really embarrassing story, man. It's just nothing I can ever brag about to anybody. Nothing worked out. When I was in business, I was making $50,000 a month. I could have simply, at that time, instead of doing that, I could have just did my taxes and got 30 grand back. But instead I did this to make, 3, 4, 5 grand. And I never even did my taxes. And my ex-wife just ended up doing it and keeping it. But that's like where my mind was. It just, nothing I did made sense.